Professor Ajit Kumar Chaturvedi, the 29th Vice Chancellor of Banaras Hindu University. He has been a distinguished scholar and has a record of academic leadership, research excellence, and national service. His association with BHU began in 1994 when he joined the Department of Electronic Engineering as a lecturer, making the start of a long and accomplished academic journey. Over the years, Professor Chaturvedi served at premier institutions such as IIT Roorkee and IIT Kanpur, where he had held several key positions, including being the head and dean of the research department and deputy director from 17 to 22. He served as the director of IIT Roorkee, and during this period he also held additional responsibilities as director of Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Shimla, and IIT Mandi. Professor Ajit Chaturvedi, an alumnus of IIT Kanpur, holds BTech, MTech, and PhD degrees in electrical engineering. He is internationally recognized for his contribution to the communication theory and wireless system. His work has earned him several prestigious honors, including the INSA Teachers Award, Distinguished Teacher Award of IIT Kanpur, and the Tan Chin Tuan Fellowship. He is also founding member of the Telecommunication Standards Development Society, India, and has contributed to national policy as a member of Government of India Spectrum Allocation Committee. Professor Ajit Chaturvedi ji took charge as Vice Chancellor on 31st of July, and since then he has been tirelessly working for the upliftment and upgradation of the university, and you can understand that this where we are standing now as a Odia chair became functional, and we have been working in the same tune as we are guided. Our Vice Chancellor has been extremely supportive, and he also gives ideas as to how we can progress as a small center, Odia chair, and it's only through his initiative that we have this Odia chair becoming functional from the current session 25-26. So we have some students already taking this course as a ability enhancement course. So with this brief introduction, may I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ajit Chaturvedi ji, to kindly come and address the august audience.
Professor Kailash Patnaik, Professor Sushma Gindial, Professor Gopabandhu Mishra, Professor Pradosh Mishra, several distinguished colleagues sitting in the audience, students, and delegates to this two-day conclave. It gives me immense pleasure to be standing here just 3 months after the previous event regarding the Kavi Saprat Upendra Bhanja Odia Chair in BHU. It is important that when we create any structure in the university, we breathe life into it through our actions and through our work. At that time it was mentioned that by February end we'll be doing an event, and I must congratulate the entire team that is involved in this chair that it has delivered on its promise. There are multiple reasons why a university like BHU feels grateful to the government of Odisha that it has funded such a chair in BHU. We feel that languages occupy the central place in any discipline of knowledge, ranging from very technical ones to aesthetic ones. Unless we impart language skills in a good amount, good measure to our students, I think they will not be able to flourish regardless of the discipline they are pursuing. And there are lots of theories about languages and about, especially about mother tongue. It is not necessary that our education is carried out at the highest level in our mother tongue. But if we have the skills in our mother tongue, I think I understand that it is easily possible to move from one language to another language, especially in higher education. And at least our experience has shown that this is true. As a person who is coming more from the science and engineering background, I have immense feeling of importance when I see the students who write various manuscripts and reports that how important language is. Within languages, especially because almost everybody in the audience is an Indian, so we naturally are more attracted towards Indian languages. And within the set of Indian languages, classical languages, because they are the precursors to what modern day India is. And I'm so happy that just last month, our university was deeply involved in another classical language, classical Indian language, and that is Tamil. Just last month, for almost a month long, we celebrated the event Kashi Tamil Sangamam. And as part of this program, many different events were organized. And it was so heartening to see that the entire BHU community, students from all faculties, faculty members, teachers, everybody responding to the occasion. And I see a very, very similar kind of enthusiasm when I see discussions about the Odia chair, whether in the academic council, whether intense deliberations in my office, or whether over emails. So we feel pride that BHU has got the honor to talk about Tamil, to talk about Odia, to learn Tamil, to learn Odia. And through these languages, we get more enamored and more attracted towards the fundamental unity of India. The more you go deeper into any of these Indian languages, the more you will realize how India is one. And if you have any doubts about that, look at the examples that Professor Gopabandhu Mishra and Professor Patnaik mentioned today from the dais. They can be as true for anybody in North India, West India, South India, in terms of the stories or the key players that are mentioned in those stories or in those anecdotes, whether it is Ram, whether it is Subhadra, whether it is Balabhadra, whether it is Jagannath. I think these words resonate across the country. Not only as God, but also like as if they are part of our, day-to-day life. Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, we keep on taking their names. Sometimes with a lot of reverence, sometimes with as if they are my own. BHU is a melting pot for the entire country. We want to encourage it that way. If you go back in time more than 100 years, I think it attracted the best talent of Indians from across the globe. Indians, wherever they were present on the globe, they were all attracted to this very unique university that was getting established. And once that happened, the students also from all over the country came over to BHU. So today we are measuring the success or the performance of our university in its ability to continue in that spirit to attract the best talent from across the country. I think these chairs, like the Upendra Bhanja Odia chair, these chairs help us in making sure that the vision of our founding fathers dovetails very well in those initiatives. A suggestion was mentioned about that we should have study tours to Odisha as part of the students who are doing this. I think we would be happy to support those endeavors. If I take a leaf out of the Kashi Tamil Sangamam experience, then I would say that I think we can get some ideas from there also. And I'll give you two examples. One example is about 50 Tamil teachers visited Varanasi for a fortnight, and they spent time in the schools of Varanasi teaching Tamil language. Odia chair can think something like that. Varanasi has always, across centuries, ages, has always been welcoming. It is the same today. So if Odia teachers who can teach in Hindi, they come and teach Odia language to our students in schools, I think that will be in the same vein. Similarly, just like you mentioned study tour, in the Kashi Tamil Sangamam also, 300 students from Varanasi, including students of BHU, not limited to BHU, they traveled to Tamil Nadu and spent about 10 days there, 10 to 50 days, visiting various places. The landscape of today's Odisha is so rich in various temples and various monuments, historical buildings, that I think it will be a natural attraction for students also from multiple angles. As we study different languages and their literature, I was just reflecting that maybe some natural phenomena or some natural occurrences might be playing a very central role to the development of languages. For example, in the case of India, I see that our landscape is either covered by mountains or by oceans or by rivers. So I think Odisha has been along the coastlines, and of course Godavari river also reaches that part. So what is the influence on the literature of the occurrence of these kinds of like coastline, or does it bring some commonality in the Indian languages which are all on the coastline? Does it bring some uniquenesses for languages which are along the banks of rivers, or for civilizations that have flourished at the foothills of mountains or on the mountains? Because on one hand it reminds us of our underlying unity, but at the same time, without causing any contradiction, it also reminds us of the uniqueness of every language. So in our desire to enforce uniqueness, we should not forget the underlying unity, and in our desire to understand the underlying unity, we should not forget the distinct identity. So today we have several heads of departments here. We have head of political science, head of economics, head of English, and of course Dean Faculty of Arts is there also. So I would say that can our Faculty of Arts take the lead in organizing more and more such events on a very regular basis? Maybe we should have a calendar, annual calendar of Faculty of Arts, and every 15 days there should be. Arts faculty is like the soul of the university. It can sort of bring the entire university at one platform, because regardless of whatever your discipline is, you get attracted to the humanities. I can say arts and social science put together. I mean sociology, political science, economics, arts, geography, various disciplines, they can sort of, everybody has some interface with them. You cannot, whether you like them or you don't like them, you cannot live without them. Language is so crucial. So, I mean, how can I live without the language? Literature is so crucial. I mean, whether I like literature or not, I mean, I'm so much always attracted towards Prem Chand, towards our mythological text. After all, what is that? That is literature. And at the moment you feel that how easy or difficult it is to become a Sahityakar, I mean, you have to realize if you have to write one page trying to express something very original, creative, it is so difficult for people who do maths and science that they realize that, okay, how difficult it is to be creative and still be making coherence. So creativity and coherence together, that itself is a challenge. Before I end, one more thought that came to my mind today, I thought I'll share with all of you. And that is that when we try to discuss any piece of literature, there is no limit or there is no boundary on the number of interpretations that one piece of literature can give rise to. And we can keep on interpreting, and for example, he was interpreting those three Jai, Jai, Jai as if three different Ram is there. Somebody else can interpret in some other manner. So that is the power of the language or the literature, that it attracts you to so many different interpretations. Unlike some other forms where the interpretations cannot be more than one, and they have to be only one. So that is the power of arts, that is the power of humanities, that is the power of language and literature. So I hope that our university will become more agile to this. Our university will come forward and take a leaf from the Odisha government's funding, and maybe we reach out to government of Maharashtra, government of Karnataka, government of Rajasthan, and go out all over. BHU should, Professor Bildial, you should take a initiative in this regard, and let us bring everybody here to BHU, and then relive the dream of Mahamana Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji. Thank you very much.
What we imagine, they suddenly start appearing as much as almost manifested. And when our Honorable Vice Chancellor says that he is a man from technology, the pronunciation of Kavi Samrat Upendra Bhanjoria Chair so fluently says us that he is so prepared and immersed in the event that he is going to take up. And we are so proud, sir, that not only that you are saying this in words, but I firmly believe, being a very close ally when we were working for the Academic Council, that you feel the breadth of the language and literature. So that always keeps us motivating and moving ahead with new ideas. On behalf of the Kavi Samrat Upendra Bhanjoria Chair, we are really grateful to have you, sir. You agreed to come and not only address us, but to also accept and also contribute from the past experience how we can enhance and prosper in this particular field. Thank you so much, sir. Now, may I request the students to please come up, and I request Professor Sushma Geldia ji, our Dean, to present the memento and Angavastram to our Chief Guest Vice Chancellor. Thank you, ma'am.